My sister is missing. Please help me find her.
What do you blind, stupid public servants know or care about the truth?
I tell you, this particular blind, stupid public servant is the one who decides whether or not to book you.
Glenna Burns is a mute. She's different from us in only one way, Mr. Lord. She can't speak.
I want an ambulance sent to 102 Crestview and make it quick.
Look, I did not touch her. I do not know where she was staying.
Alfred, I'm telling you, she would never leave the phone off the hook.
Departure of Flight 19, Dallas, Atlanta, Miami, at Gate 1. All passengers, Southern Airlines Flight 19, plane is now ready to boarding at Gate 1. Miss Spears of the Jolly Overture Group urgently requests that all members report to her in the Bud Eye Lounge. Thank you.
Where to, miss? No speaking English, huh? Oh, okay, I get it. You want me to wait, but I gotta keep the old clock ticking though, huh?
Yes? Glenna? Well, of course. I'd recognize you anywhere. How nice to see you. Come on in. Let's go in the den. This way, Glenna. Certainly nice to meet you after all these years. I don't know. She left 6 weeks ago. I haven't seen her since. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't understand it. I'm certainly glad you came. Things had gotten to the point where I was going to call you, send you a telegram, find out what you'd heard, if you knew anything at all. See the police about what? Oh, no, no. You don't report a disappearance unless you suspect foul play, and with Beth, it wasn't that. Well, look, you must have known she wrote you all the time. I mean, our marriage was not... Look, she was emotionally disturbed. Now, she threatened to leave many times, and one night, all of a sudden, like that, she was gone. But she'll be back, I know, Beth. Now, don't worry. Look, maybe you'd like to stay here, and we can try to work this out together. Look, I know it's not the Taj Mahal, but it's surely more comfortable than a hotel room.
Julian! Julie! Darling, I've just been... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize you had a guest.
This is my secretary, Irene Wilson. She...
Julian, was that her sister?
It sure was.
Tell Crowley I got his message. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm on my way to Lieutenant Varian's office now. John?
Hi, Pep. Come on in.
Hello.
This is the young lady I was telling Crowley about.
Hi.
Miss Glenna Burns.
Hi.
This is Sergeant Anderson.
Well, I guess you've had a long trip. Canada, was it?
It was Nova Scotia.
Oh.
I also told her you used to work for me.
Oh, a slave driver, this one. I had to get out.
Oh, well, listen, I've changed my ways and my whip. Do you want to transfer back?
Oh, first show me your new whip.
I've also told her that you can read hands.
Well, I'm a little rough at it. Well, how can we help you, Glenna? My sister is missing. I haven't heard from her in 6 days. Weeks. Oh, she hasn't heard from her in 6 weeks. She's very worried. This is my sister when she visited my aunt and me 3 years ago. These are letters which she wrote to me since that visit. I feel it's very urgent. Oh, she feels it's very important we read them, all right?
Does your sister live here, Miss Burns? Does she work here? Is she married?
Married. Have you been in touch with her husband? She just left him. He has no idea where she might have gone? He says no. I see. Please help me find her. She wants us to help her find her. Well...
Pep, you really did well. Thanks a lot.
Oh.
Look, I'm due at a briefing, so why don't you two just get acquainted, pour yourselves a cup of coffee, and I'd really appreciate it if you could drop Miss Burns off at the hotel on your way back.
Well, I was about to suggest that, but Glenna, etched in my memory forever is the rotten coffee in this office. So, goodbye, John.
How nice. You remembered.
Hey, Frosty, I'm a little late.
I'm a little sorry. Very little.
Yeah, but I got to get the truck back to the garage. Hey, hold it. Your old man, he been to the baker's?
He went. Still warm. Nice. Very nice. Uh-huh.
Yeah, very nice. Hey, what are you doing?
Well, at these prices, Gus, I think I better check some of the pelt numbers. Just see what kind of merchandise you got.
Hey, you know, Frosty, I've been thinking about us a lot.
What about us a lot?
Mexico. You know, I'm having a little time off soon, and what do you say we take a little trip, huh?
Well, see, I'm on a diet, and I'm afraid I'll eat too much of that food. I love those tacos.
Who's going to be eating all day? Cuernavaca. I got a friend out there in Cuernavaca. He's got a villa. It's his own. He says we can have it. You ever see one of those villas?
I saw the movie. I loved Wallace Beery.
Yeah, me too. I like that picture. That was a good picture.
It's good stuff, Gus. Real good. Okay. All right, here you go. 23,000, just like you said. Now, How about if we start transferring the dry cleaning?
There's 35 coats in there.
So?
Well, you ain't gonna get them all in that little job over there.
Oh, I know, Gus, I know. That's why I've got some help. Nothing to worry about. They're all kin to my old man. They're right over there. You want to call them? Call them over, Gus.
Okay, Gus, police department, let's go.
Gee, sorry about Cuernavaca, Gus.
Well, I don't think it'll be going too far down a dead-end street.
All right, which one of you guys want to chase him?
Joe?
Heads.
I knew it.
2 heads.
Yeah, well, it's better than none, buddy.
Oh, come on, Gus.
Shoot, don't shoot.
Shoot? What do you mean, shoot? Come on. Get out of there and slip into these, and we'll all go home early. Come on.
This one's Glenna, and that's her sister, Elizabeth. She refers to her as Beth.
Nova Scotia?
Not actually Nova Scotia. It's a little island off the coast called Alban. They were both brought up by their aunt, a Mrs. Mitchell. From what I can gather, she owns the island. Definitely not poor folk.
Have you had a chance to read the letters yet?
Half of them so far. Who's got the mustard?
Use the duck sauce, it's better. What'd you get from the letters?
A lot. About the husband. Beth was suspicious that he was having an affair with a girl named Irene.
What else does he do?
He's an architect builder. Beth was obviously very much in love with him, but no indication she planned to leave him.
His sister's very pretty. Was she born mute?
No. When she was about 4 years old, they found a growth in her throat. They operated, but...
She got a scar. It goes right along here.
Yeah. Bill, do you mind if I stay on the case a few more days?
Okay. But I tell you, I want you back on this patrolling case as soon as possible.
No, I was not at any hotel last night.
Mr. Lord informed me that he was home last night, asleep.
Alone?
Yes, alone.
This Irene Wilson.
This Irene Wilson happens to be my secretarial assistant and not, as you seem to be implying, my mistress.
Oh, I see. Your secretarial assistant.
That's right.
Well, where was your secretarial assistant last night?
Away on business in San Francisco.
Sergeant, have you considered the very likely possibility that it was a burglar or some sex freak who attacked my client's sister-in-law?
Yes, we have. But when we picked her up at the hospital this morning, she said she hadn't been robbed or sexually assaulted.
Yeah, so it had to be me, huh? Right? She said she saw me.
No, she said that the room was dark and she only saw a shadow.
Mine, of course. I mean, my wife is missing and I know exactly where she is, but I don't want anybody else to know. Isn't that what you're trying to say? Look, I did not see Glenna last night. I did not touch her. I do not know where she was staying.
Would you swear to that?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I wish somebody would tell me what the hell is going on around here. Julian,
Yeah,
is your
Pep, you wanna
attorney.
bring him in,
I
please?
don't need an attorney to tell me what the truth is. It'll be my word against their idiotic speculations. Damnedest thing I ever saw in my life.
Come in.
Excuse me.
Hi.
This is Charlie Tedesco, Mr. Lord. He drives a cab for the city cab company. Do you recognize him? Mr. Tedesco, do you recognize this man?
Yeah, I do, Sergeant. Came to the garage last night about 8 o'clock to see me.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
That it?
That's it. Thanks very much.
Okay.
You want to explain that, Mr. Lord?
What is this, some plot hatched up by my pathetic wife and her equally pathetic sister?
Glenna Burns is a mute. She's different from us in only one way, Mr. Lord. She can't speak. That does not make her pathetic.
You want to explain about the cab driver?
When Glenna left yesterday, I made a note of the license plate and the cab company. I called the garage. I found out about Mr. Tedesco. We met.
And you paid him $50.
That's right.
Why?
I wanted to know where she went. Glenna showed up at my house yesterday suddenly out of nowhere. We talked. When she left, I had the feeling she suspected me of something, was going to the police, and I wanted to talk to her before she did.
Why?
Because whatever happened between me and my wife is our own personal problem. Now, can't you people understand that?
Mr. Lord, is it true that you're under investigation right now by the Securities and Exchange Commission?
Oh, come on, will you?
All right, I'll explain that. My client and 3 partners formed a corporation. Each of them was going to put up $3 million to develop a new retirement community. Now, because of circumstances, my client couldn't produce a share of the money, but this doesn't mean he won't.
Yeah, these circumstances, do they have anything to do with the money that your wife was going to give you, only she didn't?
There is one thing I do know. I don't have to discuss that with a sergeant.
Now, Crowley, you have nothing on which to hold my client. You know that.
And you know that this is only an investigation, a search for the truth, which...
Oh, a search for the truth. Is that a joke? What do you blind, stupid public servants know or care
Well, I
about
tell you,
the
this
truth?
particular blind, stupid public servant is the one who decides whether or not to book you. You get him the hell out of here.
Now,
So is this what you people do on a slow day for your
Right,
kicks?
you better get him out of
Damn,
here.
come on.
I know what's going on here, but it's only going to complicate matters to go
Couldn't
this
care
way.
less, Frank. I'm bored of the way cops go
But there's
around,
no way to act.
pushing people around, saying what they want
Why
to
incur
say.
their displeasure?
I couldn't care less.
I love head steaks. I'm absolutely sure if you can stand my crazy hours. Here's Miss Burns' key.
I'll bet your bill as soon as the computer rings up the good news. Miss Burns, may I please have your credit card? And simply sign this.
Yeah, boys. Hi, I'm Eric.
Hi, Eric.
And Miss here is Chaucer. He was born in London, England.
He's a bloomin' beauty.
He sure is. What's your name?
That's Glenna, and I'm Pepper.
He's a show dog.
Miss Burns?
Oh, here, I'll take it.
He sure does like you, Glenna. You too, Pepper. I guess it's because you're both so pretty. We have to go now. Bye.
Well, here it is. And I went shopping yesterday, so the refrigerator is full of goodies. You can help yourself, whatever you want. I'll show you upstairs, because that's going to be your room for a while. No, it doesn't open up, but it's just as comfortable as my bed upstairs. What? Oh, no, ma'am. That's where I'm going to sleep. You're going to be one of those? You're going to be a house guest that gives me no trouble? I wish I could say the same for some of my relatives. Are you sure? Excuse me. All right. Excuse me. Who is it?
It's William.
William who?
Quit horsing around. Open up, let me in.
Is it the William who could have arrived a few minutes earlier to help with the heavy luggage?
No, it's the William who okays your petty cash.
Oh, hi, Bill.
You're all cop, aren't you? Hi, Glenna. How are you? Everything okay? Boy, talk about it. You got something cold to drink?
Yeah, out here. Come on.
You want to go out on the terrace?
That's better.
Every time I come out here, I feel like Jungle Jim. Here, I'll give you a hand. Orange juice and martini glasses?
Well, when I get a raise, you get a silver chalice.
I see. Glenna, I read your sister's letters. There's only one I could find in which there was something a little cryptic.
In reference to Arcady?
Yeah. Here. It says, my dreams, Julian, everything I've had with him, the good and the bad. I have the feeling that it will all end as dreadfully as it all began so beautifully at Arcady. What is Arcady?
It's the name of a cabin that Julian built for himself and my sister after they were married. A hideaway.
Where's it located?
Near a lake.
Which lake? Did she ever say?
Once she wrote to me that it was very warm there. But she said that was very funny because... Wait a minute. Go back to... I missed it. Go back to funny. She said it was very funny because the name indicated a place very cold. Oh, Glenn, I can't remember the name.
Very cold Springs?
There's a place about 30 miles north of there, Snow Canyon?
No, Frost Lake. Frost Lake.
Is that it?
Sure, I know Mr. Lord. What about him? Has he got a cabin around here? Maybe. Who wants to know? I hope he's in no trouble. He's a nice man. Nice wife. Oh? Have you seen him lately? Well, can't say I have. What can you say about the cabin? Can you tell me where it is? Yeah. Come on inside. I'll draw you a map.
What do you got?
A septic tank.
Hello? Yes, Bill. Yes, she's here. I see. All right. They found a body. It could be Beth.
I have the feeling that it will all end as dreadfully as it all began so beautifully. At Arcady, your loving sister, Elizabeth.
Thank you, Sergeant. Your Honor, I should like to present this letter written by the hand of Elizabeth Lord to the court designated Exhibit A.
You may do so, Mr. Hogan.
Now, Sergeant Crowley, would you please tell us what happened next?
Yes, we learned from Miss Burns that Arcady was the name of a cabin that Mr. Lord had built. We located the cabin, made a search, and found the body.
Would you please tell us where you found the body and the condition of that body?
Mostly bones. We found them buried in the sump of a tank, a septic tank, not far from the cabin. It's decomposed, but definitely female Caucasian.
Is there anything else you can think about in regards to the condition of that body?
Yes, sir.
What is that, please?
It was decapitated.
Decapitated?
Yes.
Anything else, Sergeant?
Yes, according to the autopsy report, there's evidence that the decomposition of the body was aided by the use of a powerful acid.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. Cross-examination?
Sergeant Crowley, as you know, this is a preliminary hearing that my client has not been found guilty of a thing. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
He has, however, been accused of the murder of his wife. Now, is there any proof, wherever it is, in that autopsy report that you just referred to, that the deceased was indeed Elizabeth Lord?
No, there isn't, but...
Just answer yes or no.
No.
Well, now, Miss Wilson, what is your occupation?
I'm presently unemployed.
But you did work as an assistant to Mr. Lord for some time now, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Now, why are you no longer employed by the accused?
Objection, Your Honor. The question is irrelevant.
I beg to differ with the distinguished counselor for the defense, Your Honor. I feel the question is important, and I intend to prove that importance.
Overruled. The witness will answer the question.
Now, why do you no longer work for the accused, Miss Wilson?
I quit.
Would you mind telling the court why?
I wasn't feeling very well. I needed a rest.
Miss Wilson, were you ever romantically involved with the accused?
Objection. I must insist that this entire line of questioning is totally irrelevant.
Overruled. I'm afraid I'll have to overrule you again, Mr. Hall.
I repeat the question. Miss Wilson, were you ever involved romantically with the accused? And I remind you, you are still under oath.
I was involved with him. Briefly.
You were having an affair with the accused. Is that correct?
Yes.
You knew he had a wife. You knew that. And yet you and he engaged in the most flagrant love affair. Is that correct?
I said yes.
I have no more questions, Your Honor.
I guess you could say I was one of Beth's closest friends.
When did you meet?
Oh, 8 or so years ago. Shortly before she and Julian were married.
Mrs. Larkin, would you tell us some of the things that you got to know about Mrs. Lord during those 8 years?
She came from a very wealthy family. Supported both herself and Julian after they were married, while he was taking postgraduate studies in architecture. Supported him spiritually during some of the hard times, until Julian finally made it.
Mrs. Larkin, did she ever discuss intimate matters with you?
Yes, she did.
When did you last see Elizabeth Lord?
We had lunch at Le Mans, a little French restaurant we used to go to. Beth looked very pale, nervous. She told me how Julian had been drinking, became violent, unreasonable at times. How he had fired another maid and she had been busy interviewing a whole slew of women.
About the marriage. Did she talk to you about that?
She said things were bad, but that she was determined to straighten them out, if it killed her.
Thank you, Mrs. Larkin. I have no more witnesses.
Now, remember, you're under oath. Did you have anything to do with the murder of your wife, Elizabeth Lord?
I did not.
Would you please repeat your answer?
No, I did not.
Did you love your wife?
Yes, I did. I do.
Despite the fact that you became involved with several other women?
Well, that was because of her.
Would you explain that, Mr. Lord?
Beth was ill, mentally, emotionally. She became increasingly difficult to live with.
So you were forced to turn to other women. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I don't say I'm proud of it or it's the right thing to do, but it's what I did. But I tried to help. I tried to get her psychiatric help. That seemed to frighten her even more. I honestly wasn't surprised when she left me or disappeared. It had nothing to do with money now. I was going to handle that part of it myself.
Thank you. No more questions.
I have just one question for you, Mr. Lord. In your line of business, do you have access to quantities of acid?
No.
Well, now, according to this purchase order, signed by you, dated May 15th of this year, you authorized the purchase of the following items for your company. 6 50-pound drums of sulfuric acid, 20 100-pound bags of lime, and 2 100-pound bags of lye.
I run a very large business. It's highly possible that one of my department heads ordered it.
That's all.
Yeah, but you don't understand.
Thank you very much. You've answered the question.
Mrs. Larkin, may I speak with you just a minute, please?
Tomorrow, Glenna, we come back, the judge will make his decision, and that's it until the trial. I want you all to know that I shall not wait. My work is finished. I want to fly home to Alban, where there is a peace, land, and water.
I tell you what, I'll buy lunch if we can all visit you one day. What does that mean?
Not a chance.
Look, since you're springy, why don't we go down to Vinny's and have a peanut butter sandwich?
Yes, that sounds good to me.
Yeah?
Hey, Pep, it's Bill. Yeah, we've run into a snag on that Petroni case. Yeah, we're at the Four Winds. Hey, you should see the ceiling here.
Oh, that place Pete's friend just opened.
Hey, Bill, your order's on the table.
Thanks. Yeah, they got a menu here with everything on it from baked aardvark to zabayone.
I'll give you a tip. Stick with the zabayone. So what else?
Hey, listen, the reason I called you. We need that new number on Petroni. You wrote it down on something, didn't you? Didn't you jot it down?
Hold on. Let me see if I got the right purse. And while I'm gone, don't eat any aardvark. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I don't know if this is the right one or not, but try 555-8373.
555-8373. Okay, I may get back to you, kid.
Try not to, kid. I'd like to make a long-distance call to Alban, Nova Scotia. Right, I'm coming.
Oh, sweetheart, I'll get there.
Mitchell residence.
Hello, may I speak to Mrs. Mitchell, please?
She's not here.
Glenna Burns. Is she there?
She died last month. Who's calling?
Do you have any idea where Beth is? Elizabeth Lord.
Mrs. Lord? In California. Well, now, look, if you'd like me to take a message, I can...
No, thank you.
Well, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting a body up for something like that.
You're Beth. Dear God, you're Beth.
How's that, Bill?
Pat was right about the aardvark.
What do you mean?
I think you got the winner.
Who got the winner? You kidding me?
Yeah, that's terrible.
Where do you think he's at now?
Who, Pete?
Petroni.
Well, I got a hunch. He's in Las Vegas. And he'll be back tomorrow the next day.
How come the hunch?
3 things. First of all, I got ESP. Secondly, I made a great deduction. And third, a friendly just told me on the telephone.
Well, then why didn't you tell me that in the first place?
Bill, Hodgkins wants to talk to you on the phone. This late? Ah.
Fred stopped by.
Yes, I know.
Yeah,
the
Paul.
usual. How you feeling?
A lot better, thanks. Oh, say, listen, Bill. I just completed my work on those bones and stuff that you brought from the tank sump. Yeah, I just thought you ought to know that all the tests indicate that the victim was Caucasian, female, between 60 and 70 years of age.
Wait a minute. About how old?
Okay, then, okay. Make it between 60 and 65, okay?
Okay, Paul, thanks. I got some interesting news for you. That body we found at Frost Lake, the lady was 65 years old.
65?
Mm-hmm.
Who could it be?
I don't know. I'm sure of one thing. It ain't Julian Lord's wife.
Face is completely different. It's so different that... Of course, plastic surgery. And the eyes, contact lenses, the hair is easy to change. Am I right? Am I right, damn you? And then something special for the neck, something you could apply when you needed it, a scar, like hers. just like your sisters. I'm right, aren't I?
What's the matter, William? The aardvark getting to you?
No, I tell you what's getting to me. Arcady's getting to me. Man, you talk about irony. Somebody decides they're gonna knock off some old lady. So they go up in the middle of nowhere to some cabin that nobody ever goes to. They dump the bones in a cesspool tank, and they cover them up. Now, what is the percentage of anybody ever digging that up? Of those bones ever being found? Huh? I mean, ironic? If it hadn't been for Glenna. Listen, I'm gonna go give Pep a call.
But then you had to go through that first major test and see Julian. Would he recognize you? He didn't, did he? And so you came to me.
Yeah, operator. I have an emergency call, please, for 904-2133. Yeah, I'm getting a visit. Bill Crowley.
The letters. I read them. All about your love for your Julian, but what I didn't read into them was your fear that you were losing him to another woman. So you decided to get even. To get him. Didn't you? So you called him that night to see if he was home, and he was. And you stabbed yourself. A few days later, after we found that body, you knew your plan had worked.
Operator, would you check it again, please? There's no way it could be off the hook. Yeah, operator, I'm telling you, she would never leave the phone off the hook. Pete, Joe?
Who was she? The woman you murdered? Some poor soul who answered your ad for a maid? It's not important. We'll find out. You're sick. You're a very sick woman. You need help. Why don't you start by giving me the gun?
Sent to 102 Crestview and make it quick. You hear? Quick.
There you go. There you go. My gun.
Yeah.
She shot me. She's not.
She's not what?
She's not Glenna.
Hey, Bill. Pep's car is missing.
Give me that blanket, will you?
How come it never hurts when John Wayne gets shot?
Yeah.
Hello, is Mrs. Lord there?
No, she's not. Who wants to know?
This is Transcontinental Airlines. We wanted to know that her flight to Toronto will be delayed at least 45 minutes.
Flight 62 for Winnipeg and Toronto at Gate 8. All passengers, Transcontinental Airlines Flight 62. Your plane is now ready for boarding at Gate 8. Flight 51, Baja Airlines is now arriving at Gate 16. Baja Airlines Flight 51 now arriving at Gate 16.
Hey, Joe! for male nurse and 2 used pharmacist.
Oh, boy, some people really got it made.
Hey, where's the TV?
This place is driving me crazy. Did you come to spring me?
No, we came bearing gifts.
How nice. Day-old daisies.
I never promised you a rose garden.
Julian Lord sent roses. By the way, he thanks us for pursuing the truth. Isn't that nice? Joe, thank Harriet for sending the candy. But, Bill, I gotta get out of this place.
Look, Harriet thought the candy was all right. But the kids thought the popcorn was better.
Maybe they can get me out of here.
Well, here's something that might help. A little poetry by Shelley.
Berman?
Winters.
Maybe she can get me out of here. Bill.
Listen, speaking of getting out, I gotta go. I'm doing court.
All right, well, listen, thanks. They really are nice.
They're nice because they reminded me of you.
How sweet.
I'll see you in the morning.
Can't you come by tonight?
Honey, I can't come by tonight. I got so many reports to fill out, I won't be through before... Listen, on second thought, I will come by tonight. What time do you guys close, anyway?